Okay. So we're playing this game. Um, I recorded yesterday and posted a video, but the problem with the video was that my game was too loud and my mic was too quiet. So, and that's not to do with the game. It has to do with my OBS settings. Oh, I'm using a sniper. But yeah, more shitpost content. Anyways, I feel good enough to record right now. I was kind of in a grumpy mood. Not grumpy, but like my anxiety was making it hard for me to sit still. Anyways, I just went on YouTube today and kind of browsed some stuff, and as you know, I'm a League player, and I don't know if like a lot of people like really give a fuck on like League drama and shit, but Tarzan got banned, interestingly enough, and I think it's funny that he got banned, especially because he is fucking like it was bound to happen. I just would never have expected him to get like actually permabanned. And I think it's funny that he got permabanned after his drama with Dantes instead of getting banned like he got banned now instead of like way back when, which I think is like the funniest part of all this is he genuinely just like he got hammered. Like he literally got a call from a Riot dev on the morning of his birthday like, "Hey, you're permabanned from League, bro. You're never allowed to play this shit again." They said his ban was indefinite. They didn't specify, but I thought that was funny that they did that because it's just interesting to see somebody who has such a long streak of being like one of the most toxic League players in the planet get fucking canned. um And it's funny because genuinely one of the only reasons he probably still had even right to play the game was because he was unironically good at it. But there was I saw this post from Rival because Rival is like your go-to League of Legends news for the day. And yeah, I watched that clip from Rival and he posted it and he was like, Tarzan got banned, and he showed all the context. And I think it's funny because Tarzan has genuinely no idea what he's going to be doing. Um, and I think that's kind of go-to in League is your whole life. But that dude definitely has like some like mental. He definitely has some like ego complex mental issues. Like that he definitely has like some sort of like anger disorder or something like that. 'Cause he's like no filter. He probably has like, what is it called when you're? He's probably uh, like sociopathic or psychotic tendencies, something like that. The one that makes you like the one that makes you so like you're unhinged and you have like no awareness. Like he definitely has that, and it's pretty apparent based on the way he talks. But I'm gonna say this: I did see. I watched the Rival clip, and there was like, I don't know how true this is, but apparently Tarzan was saying that like he got doxxed by this like fucking person in League, and um, they like sent pizzas to his house and were saying his family's names in game or something like that. I didn't watch the clip, but I don't know how true that context is. But Rival was basically saying that like if you weren't that toxic, then nobody would have doxed you in the first place. And that is definitely true, but I think it's unfair to say that this late into Tarzan's like lifespan as a streamer when everybody knows he is just like you're gonna get a reaction out of him if you do something like that. So I think it's kind of unfair for you to sit back and say like that level of like getting reaction out of someone is valid. Like if that is true and like you're getting doxxed and someone's sending shit to your house, like that's fucking insane. Like you're also just like as bad as Tarzan. But like, and I'm not saying Tarzan is not guilty, but that's some like fucking bullshit right there to like even backbone and say like, oh yeah, Tarzan is like just fucking all out wrong. Like you wouldn't have gotten doxxed if you weren't toxic. Like it's like the people like to get the reactions out of him because he'll fucking react to it, and it's genuinely just like something people do. So I think it's unfair for someone to just go on the internet and clip farm and say something like that. especially Rival, who, by the way, I've messaged on Discord before, and Rival's kind of an idiot. Like, there was one time where Redditors were getting flamed for pulling shit off of their subreddit, being told to by rioters, and I contacted one of the Reddit mods because I was like, what the fuck is going on? So I was just bored and asked one of them on, like, the Reddit support thread, and one of them came back to me and they had no idea about it. And they were like, they were asking me, like, can you give me context for this clip? Because they were just fucking confused, like, what I was talking about. And so I gave them the clip and showed them, and they're like, oh, thank you. Like, we didn't know that we were being, like, blamed for something we had no control over. And Rival just, like, made a total clickbait video, and I sent him a DM on Discord, and I was just like, hey, dude, like, you're literally just reporting false information because you're bored, and I don't know what this is about, but... Yes, I was like, what the fuck? Anyways, another thing that happened yesterday. Finally, I find someone after like 20 minutes. I don't know where the fuck anyone in this lobby is. Something else happened yesterday. Jake Paul finally lost another fight. If you didn't know, Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua was last night, and Jake Paul got his ass beat. In the 6th round, you could barely tell he was tired, and he got rocked, and then Anthony Joshua just put the fucking gas on him and knocked him out and broke his jaw on both sides. And I'll say this too. I do think it's stupid that Jake took that fight. And it's not because he couldn't have done it. He literally got in the ring with him and fucking went 6 rounds with Anthony Joshua, and people were like, he hugged him on his knees the whole round. And yeah, that's one thing. Like, that's stupid. I don't know why the fuck you're dipping down on your knees to like clinch. That's stupid. But I will say, like, Anthony Joshua is a fucking giant, and Jake is, like, if you saw, like, them face off, like, Jake was putting on weight for that fight, and Jake is, like, nowhere near as tall as that dude. So, like, doing a fight like that and then, like, still being able to go out 6 rounds, like, that's pretty impressive. And then he was still, like, throwing punches at him, too. Like, it wasn't, like, he wasn't getting much damage in, but he was still, like, putting a fight up. That was just, like, a really... like, ambitious decision to fight Anthony Joshua, the training he was in. Like, maybe if, like, there was, like, prep like the Nate Diaz fight was, where it was, like, there was, like, fucking 12 or 8 months of prep or something like that. I don't know what it was, but there was a long prep for that Nate Diaz fight. Maybe he could have lasted longer, or at least, like, gone to the cards. But there was, like, no way. And I think it was funny because people were like, he's not a real boxer. Like, that was not in the script. He said that was not in the script. I'm gonna say this. Like, you're a fucking idiot if you think that shit is scripted. Like, that shit is a professional boxing date. Like, that's, like, just because there's a bag involved and money doesn't mean that, like, it's scripted. Like, I'm sorry. People are like, oh, yeah, I'd sit in the ring to get my fucking jaw broken for $40 million in a bag. And it's like, okay, like, sure, but your jaw is not gonna get broken. You're gonna get fucking killed. Like, I don't know what we're talking about. Like, bro, Twitter and, like, comments from people are so funny. Like, the things that people say that are just, like, just because it'll, like, guarantee engagement, and people are like, oh yeah, like, I believe that this that blah blah. Like, it's so funny, bro. It's genuinely the funniest thing to hear people, like, make comments like that. It's just, it's so delusional, bro. But I think it's so funny when people just, like, make shit up like that. But yeah, that happened yesterday too. Anthony Joshua beat Jake Paul, and I'm not gonna lie, I wanted Jake Paul to win because I personally, and the only reason I wanted him to win, and, like, why I like Jake Paul winning fights, is because it proves that fighters are not bulletproof. And because of the UFC, there's this really delusional belief that these fucking grapplers are, like, the most bulletproof people in the world and, like, most dangerous people in the world, and that's true to an extent, but it doesn't mean that, like, you should still always hold the point of view that no one is invincible, and just because someone can fucking put you on your ass and, like, choke you by the neck doesn't mean that they're, like, totally just, like, 1000% invincible. Like, I was talking to one of my friends a long time ago, and I was basically saying, like, if some random person walked out in public, to Sean Strickland, by the way, who's not a bad fighter, but he's not, like, the best fighter. He's a really good fighter, but he's not the best. Someone was walking out in public, and you were just walking around, and you were like, oh, Sean Strickland, let me just fucking clock the back of his head, and he doesn't even know you're behind him. And you just walk up to him, and you fucking bang him on the back of the head with your fist, and rock the shit out of him, he's not gonna fuck you up. I'm sorry, but he's not gonna fuck you up. You just battered him in the weakest part of the back of his head. He's probably fucking shattered. And you think that you're not gonna put some like damage in. Like, these people are not bulletproof, bro. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand this like fucking like shit where people think that like these people are totally invincible, bro. Like, they're not. It's like, bro, people are genuinely just fucking so stupid when it comes to shit like that. Like, none of these fighters are bulletproof, bro. They fight in a professional setting in a ring. Like, they know how to fight, they know how to throw punches, but no one single person is invincible, bro. Like, I made a point too. I was like, if you put a fucking Marine, not a Marine, a Navy SEAL or like a Green Beret or some shit in a fucking ring with like in a UFC ring, because boxing is not like, boxing is controlled fighting. Like, if you're in a ring with those people and like you're doing all that and you put like a Navy SEAL, like full trained top best Navy SEAL or something, he's gonna fuck up the person he's in the ring with. Like, if you put the #1 UFC fighter in the world, who's that like fucking grappling person, whatever his name is, but I know he's another like on the floor guy, because of course all the #1 UFC fighters only know how to like fight on the ground, because it's the only way they can get like a genuine advantage over someone, not by punches. If you put that guy in the ring with a fucking Navy SEAL and you go toe to toe with him, that Navy SEAL is gonna kick his ass. I don't care what you say. These Navy SEALs and whoever the fuck are trained to kill. So that's why I hate the bulletproof argument, because like, nobody's bulletproof, bro. Like, you put a fucking monster fighter in a non-controlled setting on like an actual fight, you're gonna get your ass beat by a fucking Navy SEAL. Like, these guys know how to poke points. Like, there's certain shit you just can't do like in a ring that like Navy SEALs are trained to do, and just like all this crap. So I think that like that talk where people are like, oh yeah, like they'll just fuck you up, like, bro, shut the fuck up. Like, that's just not true, bro. Like, I don't, you're funny, bro. You're genuinely funny. It's like some of that's like one of the some of the funniest arguments that people make, or like shit like that. I'm just like, bro, I'm just, like, we're not dying on this hill, bro. Like, sorry. I don't know why we're dying on this hill, but apparently we are. Like, yes, they're great fighters, but they're not fucking military men trained killers, bro. Like, they fight in the UFC. And, I mean, there's arguments, too, that, like, they are also, like, totally, like, brain fucked, because, like, Sean Strickland, the only reason he's in the UFC is because as a kid, Sean Strickland had, like, one of the most fucked up childhoods ever, and like pretty much had like zero outlet, and like that dude, his like whole personality and persona, by the way, is due to the fact of how fucked up his childhood was. So he's like in the UFC, and he just like found it, and he's like, this is like a way for me to actually use my head. Like, it's the only way that guy uses his head. Like, Sean Strickland was not good at school or anything like that. Like, UFC was his like, this is where I can do anything because it's the only thing I know how to, kind of thing. And so that's why he does that. And so there is the argument where like the UFC is like the only thing these fighters know, but like at the end of the day, like, they're grappling, they're not just like diving in your face, like they're doing they're doing all they can to like fucking get tactical advantage, like stamina advantage, like cardio advantage, like all this shit. Like, they're calculating in the ring. Like, they're still fighting controlled, even though it's the octagon. So, I mean, whatever you want to believe, but like, these people are, I don't know. Twitter's just funny, bro. It's like literally engagement farm king. Like, if you want to go on Twitter and see someone say like the most fucking like random like, I don't know, ever since social media, people have become so opinionated. It's fun. And if you like that crowd, it's fine. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with like saying shit on the internet as long as you're not being like fucking ridiculous, I guess. But like, I don't know. We're at a point where people are like super, super, like dick deep into like, oh yeah, this guy said this, this guy believes that, like, blah 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 blah, blah. Like this is true. Like you gotta be careful what you say now, 'cause a lot of people are like fucking genuine maniac heads when it comes to that stuff. But you know, you can only do so much. And that's saying. Anyways, I'm done with this game, bro. I'm kind of bored. I'm gonna go do something else, and I hope you enjoyed.